All right, welcome to Coffee with Markus. Today we're going to talk about what's happening in the markets, and this will only take us 2 or 3 minutes or so, but it is important to see what is going on right now. And then I want to share with you 9 lessons that I learned in 2021. Now, this is important because in the next Coffee with Markus, I will show you my trading plan for 2022. And I mean, you can't make a new trading plan or an adjusted trading plan for 2022 without looking back of what went well, what could have been better. And I will show you the 9 lessons, and I will subdivide them into 3 lessons that I learned about trading, 3 lessons about investing, and also 3 life lessons. And I'm pretty sure that you'll enjoy it. We also talk about my current trade so that you know what I'm looking at right now, what I'm trading right now, what is in my portfolio. And then, of course, for those of you who are live here on Coffee with Markus, I will answer as many questions as possible. As you can see, we have a super full program. So let's get started. This show is about real money and real trades. I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade, the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent, because that is the key to long-term success in the markets. So, if you are sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. All right, let's get started. And as always in this show, let's take a look at what's happening in the markets today, because, oh boy, the markets are nervous. The markets are on the edge. Why? Well, because on Friday we had inflation report coming out. The CPA at the highest level since, what was it, 1982. So kind of crazy. So what do we see in the markets today? Well, this is where we see the Dow actually now recovering a little bit. If you're switching to a 5-minute chart, you'll see that earlier today, boom, the Dow was going down. Right now coming a little bit back up. The same here in the S&P and also in the NASDAQ. And why is this? Well, because this week we have the Fed meeting. So the Fed will let us know this week what they think about inflation, how they are planning to actually combat inflation here, and how quickly they will raise interest rates. So there is uncertainty in the markets, and this is why we see that today the VIX, the volatility index, the fear gauge, this morning shot higher. Right now moving a little bit lower, but this is what's driving the markets right now. So yes, traders are a little bit nervous about what's happening with the Fed. How quickly will they raise interest rates? How quickly will they actually unwind their bond buying program? And also, how will this Omicron variant affect our economy? How it will affect our holidays here? Will we have more lockdowns? You might have heard about it. New York is talking about not really locking down, but only let people dine in who are fully vaccinated. The same applies to gyms and other events. So we'll see. Will there be other states that are doing the same? And will this hit the economy? So this is what is going on right now. As I promised, it's only a few minutes that we'll talk about this, because I want to spend some time and talk about the 9 lessons that I learned in 2022. So you see, as the year winds down and as we are coming to an end, I like to look back, reflect on what went well this year and what could have gone better, because based on this, I will adjust my plans going into 2022. So today will be actually the first of 2 sessions, and the first is the 9 lessons that I have learned about trading, about investing, and about life, and how I will use these lessons that I've learned to actually go into 2022. Now, what I've done here is that I prepared a quick document that I thought would be fun to fill out together. And if you want, I'll be happy to give you a copy of this document. I'll link to it in the description. So let's get started with the 9 lessons that I've learned. And let's start first with 3 trading lessons that I have learned. And one of the lessons that I already knew, but I violated at some point this year, is that when trading the wheel, I want to trade value stocks, not growth stocks. And what does this mean? This applies mainly to trading the wheel. So I want to make sure that I am trading stocks that actually are already making a profit, value stocks, not growth stocks. And as you know, I mean, there is this one stock in my portfolio that is hurting me really, really badly. And we'll switch over to a daily chart here. And then we'll take a look at Ride. Yes, this is my nemesis. So Ride, a trade that I entered in February. And so what happened is basically that I thought, oh, you know what? It's time to put a growth stock into the portfolio. You see, when you're trading value stocks, it's kind of boring. But you see, when it comes to trading, boring is good. And for those of you who have been following me a while, you know the story. I was stuck in Florida when we had the ice storm here in Texas. I was there with my kids because we were at a sailing regatta. I was stuck in the RV that I took down there to Florida, and this is when I was born. And this is never a good idea. And of course, I know better, and it is hurting me badly. So this is another big, 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 big lesson for this year to actually write down once again to make sure that in my 2022 plan, I have it in big, bold, fat red letters blinking on the screen to say when it comes, and this is mainly for the wheel, which is one of the two trading strategies that I trade. I mean, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I try to trade the PowerX strategy as well as the wheel strategy. If you would like to learn more about these strategies, I'll link to some videos in the descriptions and also to these books if you want to. So now this was lesson number one, super big lesson. Okay, so let's talk and let's switch over here about lesson number two. And this is also something that I have known for a long time, but sometimes it helps to actually reinforce some of the good old rules that I already know. And lesson number two is don't force trades. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story, what is behind there. Now, as you know, in the beginning of the year, I decided, I think this was actually for the first time ever. No, I've done it before that I've shared my trading account publicly, as you know, so that you can follow along what I do. And in the beginning of the year, I thought, you know what, this might actually be a good idea of really follow this journey along. So in the beginning of the year, as you know, I put $250,000 in cash into a trading account. This is a margin account to trade $500,000 in stock buying power here. And with the goal of trading for a living to make $15,000 per month, which would be $180,000 per year. And you see, January started off super, super strong. January, instead of making only $15,000, already made $21,000. So in February, I just decided to turn it up a notch. And this is where in February, I actually entered this dreadful ride trade that you might have heard about. And if not, you can find plenty of information here on this channel. So this is where I forced a trade, and this is where it goes back to violating this rule that I already had here of trading only value stocks, because this is where you'll see when you're trading, sometimes the stocks that you're looking for are not appearing on the scanner. I mean, we had one of these periods in October, but you see, in October, I was already much, much better, way, way, way more disciplined here of only taking value stocks and not being lured into growth stocks or even forcing trades, because that is the number two rule here that I've learned and that you might have learned as well. So it is all about being patient and waiting for the right opportunities to come along. All right, so let's actually switch back here to the screen so that you see I just added here, don't force trades, be patient, okay? So you know the drill here. All right, let's move on to number three, and let's talk about the third thing that I have learned when it comes to trading. And this is none of us is as smart as we are all together. And I'll explain in a moment what I mean by that is as smart. That is what's supposed to say. There we go. As you know, we do have a private community here of trader. Those are the traders that have the PowerX optimizer. Those are the traders who are following these two strategies, right? Because this is where it makes sense to exchange ideas and experiences. And you see, we have a private community here, which is called Mighty Networks, and there are some amazing trade ideas. And I want to share a few with you. And this is what I've learned this year. It is great to keep expanding your horizon, to keep looking for other trades. I mean, you would, I would be stupid if I say, oh no, I just trade the way I have always traded. Because let me just share a few things here. So one of the traders in our community is Kurt, and Kurt had this crazy idea about some kamikaze call strategies. Now this is nothing really that I like to trade, but it is just an interesting trading idea. And as you can see, he has created a whole document around this. So some traders took this idea and said, okay, this is good, this makes sense. We also had Pavel originally coming up with a repair strategy. And this where said, you know what, there's this repair strategy. And then there were a few other mastermind members and also members in this community here who already have the software who say, you know what, this is great. Let's take this to the next level. Now, Mark and I, we have tested this repair trade strategy quite extensively. Don't like it in its original, but this is where we came up with the adjusted repair trade, the ATR. I think I talked about it in the previous Coffee with Markus. It's one of the trades that I did on LVS, where I was able to just risk $10 with the potential to make $400, $800, $1,200 while I am stuck in the trade. So anyhow, super cool, super interesting here. But there's more great ideas that I have incorporated into our trading. One of them is the wheelie strategy. This is what we call it right now, and this idea is originally from our mastermind member Evgeny. So he had a genius idea that we tested extensively, and by we I mean Mark Hodge and I. And then right now Mark is actually trading this strategy quite actively, and for me personally, I'm very intrigued by this, and I will incorporate it into my trading plan 2022. And again, we'll talk about this in the next video. And if you're watching the recording, by the time you might already see the next video. So if you want to take a look at this, feel free to do so. Now, one more thing that I want to mention here is Jan's indicator. So we have a mastermind member, as you can see here, the TradingView lowest close indicator, which we call lovingly Jan's indicator, because he had some genius ideas here. And I mean, I have been using this indicator here for quite a while. And as you know, we have already implemented a basic version of this into PowerX Optimizer. So this is where we're going back here and looking at the three things that I have learned when it comes to trading. Is none of us is as smart as we are all together as a community. And this is what I love about our private community here. All right, so these are the things. And in the next video, I will show you exactly how I plan to adjust my trading plan. I already made a few adjustments here, but going into 2022, how exactly I'm planning to trade. Now, I will also talk a little bit about investing, because this is where I have learned 3 lessons this year where I think this might be interesting for you, because going into 2022, you will see more of me and investing if you want to. So, and one of the things that I've learned is that I have to think way more ahead for investing opportunities. And what do I mean by this? Well, let me just come back to you. You see, this where, as you know, we had the pandemic hitting us, and this was mainly last year in 2020. So in the beginning of the year, I thought, oh my God, COVID, the pandemic here, must hit other landlords, right? It must hit apartment complexes. So there might be an opportunity for me to buy more apartment complexes. No, in fact, prices were going up like crazy. And in the beginning of the year, I sold one of my apartment complexes. Then I thought, what other industry could be hit here by the pandemic? And I thought, you know what? Maybe resorts, vacation resorts. So we actually started looking at vacation resorts that I wanted to invest in. But no, I mean, others had this idea. They got snacked up in days. Then also I thought maybe luxury villas, Airbnb. No, it's same here. It gets snacked up in days. And if you have been following the chart of Airbnb, it is just crazy. So what does this mean? You can't go with the stuff that is too obvious. And I think this is what I was Captain Obvious here. So I have two other investment ideas. And one of them I'm pursuing very actively right now. Already shared them with the mastermind. This is an idea that I will share with you as I have invested. If I'm doing this right now, I think that some of you might actually drive off the competition for me, and I'm not planning to do this, but I'll definitely keep you posted. Now, another thing, when we're talking to think way ahead for investment opportunities, one of the things that will be on my agenda for next year is NFTs and the metaverse. And you might say, oh my gosh, Markus, you are already way too late there. I think we're still in the beginning. It's almost like cryptocurrencies. You see, with cryptocurrencies, I didn't take that seriously many, many years ago when Bitcoin was still trading at, I don't know, $10, $100, when Bitcoin was trading at $1,000, right? I mean, this is where everybody thought, who knows, at least I thought, you know what, this will never take off. And I'm getting smarter here right now. Now, I don't think that the opportunity in cryptocurrencies is gone, but I believe that when we are looking here at NFTs and the metaverse, that there will be way more opportunities. And this is where I must say it's kind of a teaching an old dog new tricks. I mean, all this new stuff, this NFTs, the metaverse and cryptocurrencies, I was resisting it for the longest time. And I can tell you this, knowing what I've learned this year, I will embrace it as we are going into the next year. And I'll be happy to share what I'm learning here on this channel if you're interested in this at all. Okay, so what else have I learned here? Let's talk about another thing regarding investing. I have learned that I need to be much smarter with parking money. And what would I mean by this? You see, especially while I was waiting for investment opportunities, I had some money earmarked. So I had a few $1,000,000 earmarked for new investment opportunities. And I parked it in my checking account, which is the worst thing to park money at, right? So, and it has been sitting there for many, many, many months, for most of the year here. And of course, this is not smart at all. So this is where what you will learn from me here on this channel, what I will do going into the next year. So I will come up with strategies where I can actually, have money parked for a time frame, I want to say 3 to 6 months. And this is a time frame for me while I'm waiting for an opportunity, right, to invest, because you want to be somewhat liquid. So you don't want to have everything in a trading account here, because in a trading account, as you see, regardless of what you're trading, whether you're trading the PowerX strategy or the wheel strategy, you might be stuck in a stock no matter of how good you are. And this is where you want to make sure that you have an account where you can quickly take money out for an investment opportunity as needed. So one of the things that I have been looking into, and already shared some strategies here with our mastermind members, is that I will look more into a dividend strategy. Now, this is not really trading here for income or for growth. This is really more for parking money for short term. But while you're parking money, you might as well try to make some, 12, 15%, something like this. So this is one of the lessons that I've learned, because I have had money sitting in my checking account for way too long. All right, number 3 here. This is where I say I need to take investing as seriously as I take trading. And here's why. I mean, as you know, I'm a super active trader. I spend an hour easily every day looking at the markets. And you know what? If I would spend an hour per day on my new investing idea, it would already be done, right? And this is where I just need to get better with my time management and say, you know what, investing, which I have brushed aside, because for me, investing was more about generating passive income. This is why I have been invested in real estate. This is why I owned apartment complexes. And right now, especially here in Austin, where I like to invest, I mean, this is where it's all going crazy. So I do have a few other opportunities that I want to pursue. And all I need to do is take it as seriously here as trading. And this is one of the goals that I will do for myself going into 2022. And again, I talk about my trading and investment plan here in a little bit. All right, let's go about, and I'll also tell you 3 lessons that I learned in 2022 about life that are reinforcing some of the things that I already knew. And I hope that this might help you here as well. And the first thing is something that I already knew, and it just reinforcing it. Surround yourself with positive people, right? And you know this. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend most of the time with, right? I mean, if the 5 people you spend most of the time with are overweight, there's a good chance that you might be overweight or become overweight. If the 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with and spending the most time with, if they're extremely wealthy and millionaires, there's a good chance that you're becoming a millionaire as well. And you see, this is just something that I've learned this year. Negative people are sucking the energy out of me. It is just crazy. And this is where I also want to go back to our community, right? Because I really love our community here, which is just super positive. You know that a few days ago, we did a toy drive here, Toys for Tots. And look at this. This is a picture that Debbie took. And you see how many toys you donated. I mean, we donated a lot of toys. I personally bought a lot of toys. It seems that we will be able to help more than 300 kids. And I will personally deliver them to Toys for Tots and make sure that they are arriving. So thank you. And this is why I'm so thankful to have not only this community, but also you here. On this YouTube channel. And you see this, one of the things that I've learned this year, negative people only have words where they try to bring you down, right? Positive people change the world through actions. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Because this is what I'm seeing when I'm looking at this. This is where actions, not words, actions, right? And this is where negative people, they just talk about, oh, and you should have done this better, and you should have gotten out of ride there, and you should have never gotten into ride. I know that. Yes, Captain Obvious, right? I mean, just take action, and this is why I love this. Okay, let's go back and talk about the last 2 things that I have learned about trading, investing, and life in general. So here is another thing that I've learned, especially this year, and it has hit me harder than ever. And this is the kids get older, and it sucks. I mean, this is where, you see, this is the problem of all older people. And now, as I'm 52 years old, it seems that I am one of these older people who always say, I wish I had spent more time with my kids, with my family. And you see, just recently, I came across this picture, and this picture was taken only 9 years ago. This is when the kids and I were going to Germany to visit my parents. There's my son Julius. There's my daughter Vivian. This was just 9 years ago, only 9 years ago. Look at this. This is my son Julius right now. So he is in college. And this was one of the things that happened in my life. As you know, in autumn a few months ago, that I actually drove him up to Boston, where he is attending college. And he's out of the house. And for me, this is one of the things that is tough for me. Then also look at this girl here again, my daughter Vivian, right? I mean, this girl is growing up. That's her right now, only 9 years older, right? I mean, this is Vivian, and I mean, she is a junior right now in high school. And we just spent the weekend together where we were in St. Petersburg, where Vivian and her sailing team was competing in a national sailing regatta. And yes, they made first place. So proud daddy moment here. And this is definitely one of the things going into next year that not only for myself, but also for you, if you still have smaller kids, right? I mean, think about it this way. You can always make more money. You can always make more money, but you can't get back time. And this is one of the things that I will put big and fat on my computer desktop, that I see it every single day so that I'm not missing the most important things in life. All right, so finally, what other lesson do I have? And this is something that for me personally, I need to be more realistic with time, since we're talking about time and what I can accomplish. Because here's the deal. I mean, if you have been around with me, you know that I am an overachiever. I want to have everything and get everything done right now. And this is where I want to share with you this Bill Gates quote that really resonates with me right now, right? And I mean, there's different quotes, but Bill Gates said, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. You see, I personally, for me, I tend to overestimate what I can do in a day. I tend to overestimate what I can do in a week. And so I need to be a little bit more realistic and have goals that are more monthly goals, quarterly goals, and annual goals. I don't believe in really necessarily having a 10-year goal. For me, life goes too fast, but I need to get better in my time management and not put too much on my plate and try to get too much done in too little time. Because I don't know about you, when I try to do this, that's when I stumble. And this basically brings us back full circle here, right? Because if I'm trying to do too many things, this is when I am being impatient. And that's what I've learned here, not only in life, but this is where it relates back to trading and to investing, right? You can't realistically turn a $1,000 account into $1 million within a month, right? But I mean, over time, when you apply the principles that you might have learned here on this channel of creating SRC profits, systematic, repeatable, and consistent, right? I mean, just be realistic of what you can achieve. Anyhow, so here you have it. These are the 9 major lessons that I learned in 2021. Broken down into trading, broken down into investing, and into life. And you will see exactly how I will incorporate these life lessons into not only my trading plan, but also overall my investment plan and my life plan for 2022. And this is what we are going to do in the next video. So just make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And if right now the next video is ready, I'll have it pop up here somewhere so that you can watch it and see exactly of how I'm putting these life lessons into action. All right, and don't go anywhere, because now we still have much more going on. So yes, we will talk about my current trades. I will answer as many questions as I can here. But let me ask you this, did this resonate at all with you? Were there some things where it might be helpful for you to slow down? I just love this time of the year. I mean, right now we are in mid-December, and take it and look back of what happened in the past year. What could I've done better? And also make adjustments and not just have regrets and say, oh yeah, I should have not traded right. I mean, duh, obvious, right? I mean, should have spent more time with my kids. Just also put it into action and see what can I do. If this resonated at all with you, do me a favor and click on like really quick, because this way I know that you're enjoying this video. And as you know, I like to do more videos that you enjoy. Okay. Anyhow, so let's actually move on and let's talk about my current trades in these current market conditions here and see what exactly is happening. And again, we talked about this a little bit in the beginning of the session here, that today markets are nervous. Ding, 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 ding. You hear the bell. As you can see, they were selling off going into the close. So here earlier this morning, we pretty much started unchanged from Friday, slightly down. But as you can see, we're moving lower here, slightly bouncing back. And now in the last 15 minutes, because you're looking at a 5-minute chart, in the Dow, in the S&P, and in the NASDAQ, a quick sell-off going into the close. So today, overall, in the three major indices, a down day. And this is what we are seeing here as well in my position. So let's go through this. And first of all, let's talk about the PowerX positions that I'm in right now. And currently I'm in one PowerX position. I am in FCG. I entered this on Friday, as you can see, on a green bar. Today we have a black bar. What does a black bar mean? It means that there is a change in direction. So I will close out this trade tomorrow morning before it hits the stop loss. So with a smaller loss than anticipated. Nevertheless, it is a loss because today the markets have just been super nervous. So this is the only PowerX trade that I had on currently. I liked it when I saw it on Friday. Overall, looking at the PowerX optimizer, let's just go over here. Let's go over to PowerX. Let's take a look at FCG. So what I like to see here when we are looking at the P&L chart, that we have a really nice equity curve that is going from the lower right to the from the lower left to the upper right. This is what we are looking for. And FCG, for me, met my criteria. This is why I entered the trade. See, it gave us a long signal. I'm getting out of this right now. So this one did not work out, which is fine, which is okay. So this will be a small loss because we're getting out before the stop loss is hit. As you can see, the stop loss at 1684, and right now we have not hit the stop loss, but we are trading at 1708. So let's see what happens there tomorrow. Now let's talk about the wheel trades that I'm in right now. So ARC-F here, I'm in a wheel trade. ARC-F today was a little bit all over the place. If we are switching to a 5-minute chart, so you see that earlier this morning we were pushing higher, then lower, and then we held up pretty good going into the close here. So I still like ARC-F. Now, this week will be important for financials because we have the Fed meeting. This is where I got assigned at 47.50. So right up here. As you can see, I've been able already. Let's see if I can hit it somewhere here. Let's draw a horizontal line. More or less, you get the idea. Been able to sell calls and puts, collected already a lot of premium. We were trading at 45.50, so I've been able to sell more calls there. So that's pretty good. And looking just at the overall chart, I'm pretty certain that here soon we will bounce back into the 50 to 55 level. So I'm not concerned about this. Slightly down here right now, but this is just a few $1,000s based on my account size. So really not a big deal. Now, BA is another one, super, super interesting. Boeing here. Boeing has been a fun one. I mean, for Boeing, let me just clean this up because otherwise my charts are getting too cluttered. And we move over to Boeing. So Boeing here, super interesting. I got assigned at 207.50 right here. Well, you get the idea. Around here. So has been lots of fun. I've been able to sell calls and puts, and it almost seemed that I would get called away on Friday. And then, as you can see, Boeing turned around. So this is just, there's a lot of premium in Boeing. Very happy with this stock here and that I'm assigned. I just need this to pop up a little bit higher. So we'll see what happens here tomorrow. Today, travel stocks in general got hit, but I like this one. So this here had some solid support. And as you can see, even now, the support line of 190 that we have here established earlier this year in January is holding actually pretty well. So I'm liking this one. All right, another one that I entered last week, CLF, sold calls at 1950. So let me just, not calls, puts, sold puts at 1950 right here. So let's draw a horizontal line. And as you can see, this level is holding really, really well. So if we are closing above 1950, I'll keep the premium and nothing will happen, and this by Friday. If we are closing below 1950, I'll get assigned CLF. CLF is a strong value stock here, so no worries there. This is what I talked about. What am I trading right now? Definitely value stocks, value stocks, value stocks. Okay. So another one that we look at is LVS, and LVS is one that is also right now with the pandemic going up and down and up and down. So as you know, I have been assigned at 58 originally, have flown 2 rescue missions, have been able to lower my cost basis to just above 46 and put on last week a ratio call spread that allowed me to risk $10. And if by Friday we are closing above 38, if you're closing between 38 and 39, I'll be able to make $400 on the $10 that I risk. If we are trading between 39 and 40 on Friday, then it will be $800, and between 40 and 41, it will be $1,200. Above 41, it will be even more money. You get the idea here. So I'm loving this. I'm okay. So Las Vegas Sands, we know Macau, which is one of their main markets, is closed right now. We got to wait until they open up again, and then we will be fine here with LVS. Now, Ride is the other story, and I've talked about this over and over again. I believe that Ride will be in this range between, originally I said $4.50 and $6.50. Right now it seems to be between $4 and $4 and $6, probably $4 and $5.50, somewhere there. I have some ideas what I want to do with this. I haven't executed on them just yet. When I do, I will keep you posted. This will not be a call ratio spread, so I have some other ideas here. But right now, I want to see that possibly I get called away in BA, maybe in CLF, that we close this one. So I might do something here a little bit later this week, and when I do, I'll definitely keep you posted. All right. UNG, another one. UNG, a fun one. This is the United States Natural Gas Fund. It is mirroring the natural gas, and this is where natural gas, as we getting into the cold winter season right now, and as we have more cold fronts coming in, this is where this will pull higher. I got assigned at 1550, so love my average price here. This has been a fun stock to trade. Lots of volatility. I sold calls, I sold puts. So right now, a little bit down on this one. As you can see, it's trading at 1250. I got assigned at 1550. But I'm not concerned about this at all, especially as cold fronts are hitting right now. I don't know if you heard about this, but this weekend, the cold front was hitting Texas really, really badly. I think Dallas got hit badly. Even in Austin, temperatures dropped down into the 30s. And I know that in many other parts of the country here, there's also the cold front coming. As it is coming and people are consuming more gas than they anticipate, this is where prices will move higher. So I'm okay here with this one. So these are the positions that I'm currently in. This is what my thoughts are on these positions. These are the trades. Today, there were a few more opportunities. Let me just show them to you. Because we talked about those with our mastermind. Looking at the wheel scanner, there were quite a few that looked quite interesting. For example, X here looked very, very interesting with a strike price of 2050. As you can see, super solid support here. I decided not to take it because I'm already in CLF, and CLF and X are super correlated. Didn't want to do this. XRT is another one. This is the retail index, a retail ETF. Pretty much all retailers today were good to trade. So whether you wanted to trade AEO or KSS popped up on the scanner and was good. I think Macy's even popped up on the scanner, was good. So this is where I personally would have traded XRT. Didn't do it because, as you can see right now, I'm in currently 6 positions. So for me, I'm full. I'm waiting to sell calls here, and that's what has been happening here. We have looked at a few other things. My head coach, Mark Hodge, for example, got into CWH. This was a trade at 36, so he had a position available in his portfolio. We have been trading CWH for a long, long, long time, really loving it. I mean, this range here has been perfect, and we have been trading it in July, August. I made a lot of money on CWH, which I could have traded it, but again, follow your plan. Now, I don't know about your plan, but I'm following my plan. And this is where I didn't want to over leverage myself because, in general, I like to have around 5 positions in my account. Currently, I have a 6th position. And this is where I really thought that BA would have got called away on Friday and didn't. But there were plenty of opportunities here today. And I know that many of you who have the PowerX Optimizer took some of these trades that were popping up because today was definitely shopping day when it comes to the wheel strategy. All right. Now, I know that I've been talking a lot, but there's so many questions that are coming in here right now. I want to take a look at a few of them and really appreciate you being here. By the way, if you're enjoying this and if this is helpful at all as I'm running through my trade, do me a favor and click like. This way I see whether this is helpful for you or not. And this way I can adjust these shows. Okay, so good to see everybody here. All right, and I see many comments of just saying hello. And Larry says, if Chewy checks all the check marks for an A+ wheel, why won't you trade it right now? For me, it doesn't. For me, it doesn't. Chewy is not a company that I want to have in my portfolio. They want to become the, Amazon of pet supplies. And think about the competitors. I mean, there's Petco, there's pets.com, I believe. There's so many others. And of course, there's Amazon, Walmart, Target. So I would not do that at all. Okay, Walter says it's hard to differentiate between growth and value. I don't think it is. In one of the upcoming Coffee with Markus, I'll show you exactly of how I do this. So Walter, stay tuned. And Kyle, there's a good point here. Don't trade before earnings. If this is an important lesson that you learned, I did not make this mistake at all in 2021. And neither did I do it in 2020 or before that. So this is right now nothing that I need to correct. But a few other mistakes that I make, I need to correct. Okay. Yeah, you said I learned it the hard way this year twice. Okay, the good news is, I mean, these are learning lessons, and now you know you're just your trading plan. You then follow your plan, right? And this way you avoid making these mistakes going forward. John is asking, how can I view previous shows? They're here on the channel, on the YouTube channel. We have a playlist for Coffee with Markus. You can take a look at that. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Nicole said it here. Absolutely. Good. Jim is sharing a tip here. Just add stock to the watch list as I go from week to week. This gives me something to look at when the wheel doesn't have a worthwhile list. You can do this. I did this in the past. I found it better right now to work with the wheel scanner. And everybody is different, right? I'm just sharing here what I do. And you see all the results, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So that you can then say, okay, what makes sense for you? And feel free to modify it. This is where I said, I mean, we have this amazing community. And this is where, just pick what makes sense for you that helps you to make more money. Jora says, is Stitch Fix, which a lot of us have traded, consider value or growth? For me, Stitch Fix is one of the companies that doesn't have a business model that I like, that I would like to own. We will use, Joe, we will use Stitch Fix here as an example when we talk about value versus growth stocks in one of the upcoming Coffee with Markus. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it. I just don't want to rush through this, so we will take our time. So because it seems that some of you are having questions regarding what is a value stock, what is a growth stock, and we will talk about this. Yeah, David says TradingView shows the net income and revenue charts. If they're both positive, that's a good sign. And again, we'll dig deeper into this. Okay, Billy Boy says, in the last weeks, you did not show anymore your trading account. The last session before this, I mean, I did a detailed overview of the trades that I'm in. I actually did the account status. So take a look at this. It was, I think it was the previous Coffee with Markus. Maybe it was one before. Just check for account update. This is where you'll see it. Okay. So this is where you have all the realized, unrealized profits. We will talk about this in every of these account updates. Okay. So Andrew says, when sometimes having a short period of time on deciding a wheel trade, how would you identify if a stock is growth or value? I see there's so many questions. I promise I'll make a dedicated Coffee with Markus around this so that you have a reference point and can come back to this instead of rushing through this here right now. Is this making sense? Okay. So Kyle is using an extreme oversimplification, but I usually consider any stock that pays a dividend. That is one of the good ways. I'll show you a few other ways to look at it, and it'll be super simple. It won't be difficult here as all. Okay, good. What else do we have here? Yeah, I see more questions regarding value stock and growth stocks, so we will absolutely talk about that at some point. And I see that some of you agree with the tips that I heard earlier, the things that that I shared with you. I mean, I'm glad, as you can see, it's very personal, but I like to let you know of what I have learned this year and hope that it inspires you to, yeah, also look back and write down, even if it is just a few things, of what has worked for you this year and what has some room for improvement here. Okay, cool. What else? Yeah, this, Zabina says, was a wonderful initiative. I'm so happy. So I can't wait to deliver these toys. And yes, we will do a video and we'll share it with you because it seems that we are getting close to 400 toys that we can give to Toys for Tots so that they can give it to tots, to kids in need here. This is just amazing. Good, good, good here. All right. So yeah, Sunil says great points. Some of them noted for your trading plan. That's great, and I'm pretty sure. So as somebody said earlier, trading into earnings was a mistake that cost him twice dearly. So you might have your own experiences. So make sure that you're writing these down. Nothing beats just writing it down, even if you do it on a keyboard, right? You don't have to do it on a piece of paper. Whatever helps you best to do this here. All right. Yeah, Jim said the market took a nice dive in the final 15 minutes. But we'll see where we see then tomorrow. I think that tomorrow, as we are going into this week with the Fed meeting, it will be rather quiet, definitely on Wednesday. And then Wednesday afternoon and Thursday, we'll see some more volatility coming in here. Okay, cool. What else do we have here? I see that you're helping each other, and you see, this is what I love about this community. This is what I love about this positive community here, because it's all about, right? I mean, how do you spend your time? It's one of my favorite quotes, right? All we can do every day is decide how we spend our time, whether we want to be positive, uplifting, encouraging, or if we want to be the negative Nellies who just tear people down. It's up to you. It's your choice. And I'm loving this community here on YouTube, and especially in Mighty Network. So I always consider that we have 3 levels of communities, and I must say the amount of positivity goes up with each level. So there's the one level here that we have on YouTube, and on YouTube, you know how it is. There's a lot of negative Nellies who just love to tear other people down with their words, and that is fine. I mean, if this is how they choose to spend their time, good for them, whatever, right? And then there's, of course, many of you, the overwhelming majority that is positive. Then we have Mighty Networks, and in Mighty Networks are those of you who invested in the PowerX Optimizer, and I must say, what an amazing and giving community. This is just wow. And then on the third level, we have our mastermind level, and this is where we just have, it's unbelievable how giving that community is. And it's really interesting how it goes up here level over level. But I must say, I'm very blessed. I'm very humbled. I'm very happy. I'm very glad and thankful for you as the community here on YouTube, in Mighty Networks, or in the Mastermind. I'm loving it. This is what gives me strength because, yes, I mean, negativity is not easy, and it can easily be overcome with positivity. And on this note, let's wrap it up here. I hope that you enjoyed it. Take a look at the other videos that are popping up right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in one of the upcoming Coffee with Markus. Till then, take care and have a great, positive day.